Yes, that's too big ship. Yes, that's a briefing room, mission room. Oh, this ship is too big.
Spil Viking Lotto og gå efter den store gevinst. Onsdag er der hele 27 millioner i første præmiepuljen. Det kan man få meget frihed for. Viking Lotto, den store gevinst, hver onsdag.
Oh no. Oh, it's like a spooky jump scare in horror games. Be free! Be free, my friend! Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I am in Alpha 3.4.0 in the PTU, and I'm going to take us to the Central Business District, show you how to get there, and do a little tour of that, because I think it's a pretty cool place, and you know, it's new content. So
Yes,
I just
that will
spawned
come soon.
this way. If you would come from the starport, you literally take any train from the starport, from Tisa, and it will take you to the metro centre there. Just come out here, and go this way. So we're going to Leavesden Station, which will take us on the Central Line. This is the first time we've really needed to, you know, move between trains from the metro centre in general. So this is like another separate area. Down there we'd have Clover Star Neely and the bar and that sort of jazz. But this way is the Central Line. I'm glad they've opened up some more of this area. So Lorville is pretty big on the map, but it's good that they're opening up more and more areas of that. Some pro tips as well. If you want to have higher frame rates at the moment in the PTU, this was true of 3.3 as well, if you take off your undersuit, so you're wearing clothes, that will actually increase your frame rate, especially around the Lorville area. However, you do need an undersuit and a helmet to breathe in space, but not on Hurston. Let's have a look out this window actually quick. We are going that way, where all those big skyscrapers are and that giant Hurston Dynamics building is. And you can see there is a lot of NPCs which actually seem to be moving and not occupying exactly the same space. Now, they do occasionally occupy the same space, but there are a butt-ton of NPCs everywhere. Is any of the trains here? Not yet, and the numbers are broken, unless they're both here now and I can't see them. Hopefully they'll be here soon. We can see here, there's the metro centre, there's Leavesden Station, where we are at the moment, and we're going down the Central Line to the Central Business District. Now, it's probably worth actually recording this journey because it's pretty cool. I apologise if I'm in an awkward position to see everything, but we'll have a better look once we actually get out of the train. So we're moving to that Central Business District, and there's some cool skyscrapers here, as we're starting to see sort of like the more neon landscape. I'm looking forward to seeing like Tokyo on Earth, assuming we actually get that. It's going to be amazing. No, I don't want your transport mission. We're now just entering that huge Hurston Dynamics building. Got its own station. Go have a look at the over here. So very open station here. A very different kind of look and feel for Lorville that we haven't had before. High quality materials, lots of reflections, gold, very odd looking marble-esque seats. No ceilings really. Here we go into this huge building over here. Now this area, it is going through a art house and that sort of stuff as well, so expect these sort of like models and lights and reflections and things like that to get a bit better looking. Welcome to the Central Business District. A couple of guards here at the entrance. It has some placeholder balls in the reflections, but not actually around, which is weird. That is odd, isn't it? Go up this big set of stairs, And then we go into this giant hall, Archibald Hurston Memorial Hall. And I'm assuming that is Archibald. Lots of shiny materials and rocks. A giant, I'm not sure if a giant, what is that, a size 6 attrition laser pointed at Archibald is a good look. This is a massive hall full of NPCs, all walking about, going about their business. And we've got the transfers area, and we've got the showcase area. So showcase is a shop, and transfers is sort of like the economic centre. Let's have a quick look around here first. There are lots of sort of like areas that we can't get into that say executive, legacy. Everyone here at Hurston Dynamics, from CEO Gavin E. Hurston down to our entry-level workers, are working tirelessly to preserve the Hurston family's legacy by producing the finest armaments.
Let's try again for fun. It did work last time after I took a break like 1 hour. Yes, but it's 4:30 a.m. I should stop and go to bed. But I got the game. Yes, there should be a kind of place where you can practice to fly your ships offline. What do we call it? Sandbox. It should be a small sandbox planet. No, that would not work.
Of tomorrow today. Another area that's locked off. Hall is massive. Go have a look at the showcase first. So at the moment, I think it's just the attrition and basically the new Hurston Dynamics weapons. What's the other one called? But the attrition family, tracing their lineage back for over 15 generations. Hurston Dynamics is one of the longest continuously operating family businesses in the Empire today. Seating area up there. You know, there's supposed to be like a gardens area as well. See some occasional greenery, like juxtaposed with black and gold, and the very sort of like clean, clinical lights. Dedication. This curated selection of Hurston Dynamics masterfully forged weapons and armaments is the culmination of over 500 years of craftsmanship, experience, and never-ending dedication to the study of the art of war. So the idea here is that you can come to the showcase and purchase a selection of the newest and best Hurston Dynamics weapons. I'm assuming it will be all of them at some point, even if it's just from consoles. But we've got the Attrition series and the
Bare skal lige ordne noget.
No. Star Citizen is of course Nox game.
Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today I want to, or rather feel I need to discuss the Star Citizen production drama and try as best as I can to answer the question, is Star Citizen a scam? This topic has been discussed at length for pretty much every major production phase of the game since it was kickstarted back in 2012. Usually, the scam citizen claims become the most vocal during long periods between production goals. The most recent vocal uprising was spurred on by Star Citizen's $27,000 ship bundle. I remember when the world lost its mind because Blizzard was selling a $10 horse in World of Warcraft. My, how times have changed. It certainly doesn't exactly help that a large number of the ships in the Star Citizen bundles are still in development and not even currently flyable in-game. Not to mention the game itself isn't even in a near final state, so even if all the ships were flyable, there still wouldn't be all that much you could do with them. It's still pretty easy to see why people get all worked up about Cloud Imperium Games, aka CIG, and their fundraising tactics. As a backer myself, I'm a bit blown away by some of the more extreme numbers I hear, and I'm certainly not a small-time backer myself. And each dollar that I have put towards the production of Star Citizen came with the understanding that it's entirely possible the game may never release. Most people are always willing to risk a certain amount of money doing something. Whether it's a business venture or a lottery ticket, people are risking their money all the time, and it's not really my place to say what is or isn't a worthwhile risk for someone else. Yes, $27,000 is way too much for me to invest in a video game, especially without getting a share of the company in return, but it might not be for someone else or a group of people, and CIG knows that. The only reason that ship bundle exists is because someone actually wanted it. It's also more likely that groups or the in-game orgs with hundreds of members would pool their money for the bundle since it's probably better value than buying ships individually. I mean, it's still a stupid amount of money and people are right to be surprised and baffled by it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong or indicate that the company is scamming people or desperately low on resources. Let's talk about the scam theory of Star Citizen. The definition of a scam is fairly broad. Any deceptive act can be considered a scam. Here, the idea is that Cloud Imperium Games is deceiving their community so that they can make money from an idea that will never come to fruition. Perhaps Chris Roberts is taking a huge amount of money from the backers as CEO. Perhaps all the higher-ups at the company get giant bonuses. Perhaps they all know that the concept is unattainable, and so they are just dragging their fan base along while they pay everyone a fat salary to keep their mouths shut and make enough progress to generate more hype. Perhaps nobody is getting rich and all the money has been mismanaged to the point where they cannot finish the project and are pretending that everything is fine. All these are possibilities, and I'd be lying if I said there weren't moments between 2012 and now that I thought it was possible, maybe even likely, that Star Citizen may never actually happen. The amount of drama surrounding the game has been somewhat relentless and disappointing in that most of it can be construed as fairly inaccurate. I guess that's the price you pay for crowdfunding a project with a long development cycle and tons of money involved. You get impatient investors as well as media looking to make some drama for views. It's clear to me that some people would rather see this game fail for the satisfaction of knowing they were right rather than watch a company succeed in creating the most ambitious space sim ever. This isn't surprising, it's just human nature, but it has caused a lot of misinformation and unnecessary stress along the way. Now, I personally think that it's pretty easy to throw out the notion that Chris Roberts is using Star Citizen as a get-rich scheme. The man has really an incredible reputation and legacy as a game developer, starting all the way back in the early 80s. In the 90s, he created the well-known Wing Commander series, and by 1995, he was regarded as one of the top 75 most influential people in gaming. He has nearly 20 published games under his belt, along with lots of expansion content. Later, he even founded his own movie production company and produced several Hollywood films such as Lucky Number 11 and Lord of War, not to mention his live-action Wing Commander movie.
Welcome to Sol Sexy, Lieutenant.
Yep, that's a cheesy Chris Roberts cameo in his own feature film. I don't know how much Chris is worth, but if he wasn't a multimillionaire before launching Star Citizen, then quite frankly, he's been shafted in every major project that he's designed or produced, which I find highly unlikely. So the idea that he would then launch a Kickstarter with a $2 to $4 million fundraising goal and use it to steal money while ruining his reputation and probably face legal charges just sounds so absolutely ridiculous and out of character. Maybe the guy owes the mafia a ton of money and had to come up with some cash on the fly, so he kickstarted this project and yada yada yada. I can't really with the conspiracy theories, especially when there's absolutely no evidence to back them up. Logically, there's no reason to think that Star Citizen would begin as a way to make a quick buck. Now, funny enough, Star Citizen isn't the first project that Chris was involved with in which the fan base started to get nervous that it would never...
Arla 24. Smagen af frisk dansk mælk.
Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen with a variety of little tidbits of news and a Board Gamer channel update.